Well, Venkaiah Naidu is also trying to dispel the doubts which have crept through the RSS comments that come across. Let's cut across live to that media conference and listen in.
Hope better things for the country and the state. Today, I am on one important point. There are newspaper reports about the government thinking of making CAG as a multi-member body. Whenever Congress was in trouble or faces criticism, they try to weaken the institutions. That has been the track record of the Congress party. Even if they are constitutional bodies. Please recall, during emergency, they have gone for supersession of Supreme Court judges. They held demonstrations and set the effigy of Justice Jagmohan Lal Sinha set on fire at every place against the judgment of Allahabad High Court. Now they are trying to undermine the institution of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. The Prime Minister earlier asserted that the observations of the CAG are disputable and they will be challenged before the Public Accounts Committee. As said by somebody, it was like issuing a whip to the committee. How can the Prime Minister say that the observations of the CAG would be challenged when the matter comes before the Public Accounts Committee? PAC is a committee set up by Parliament, and its proceedings cannot be passed on to anybody, and nobody can dictate to PAC. The Congress party has earlier tried to tarnish the image of the CAG in the wake of observations damning the UPA regime over the wrongful allocation of coal blocks. One of the General Secretaries Sri Digvijay Singh of the Congress party has taken the debate to a new low by accusing the head of the CAG of harboring political ambitions, thereby implying that the CAG is not independent. They did the same thing even in 80s when the CAG looked into Bofor's contract on HW submarine deals. At that time, they questioned the locus standi of auditing methods. Now they have even criticized the CAG on the 2G spectrum report and also declared there was no loss. The famous quotation of Mr. Kapil Sibal, zero loss. Now after the coal block allocation report by CAG, the concerned minister, Sri Prakash Jaiswal, dismissed the findings as notional and imaginary. The finance minister, the present finance minister, said the presumptive losses in the CAG report were flawed, saying the coal is not mined and it remained buried in the mother earth, and questioned where is the loss. The Congress spokesman, Mr. Manish Tiwari, now the present minister, said the CAG has formulated its own policy. He is attributing motives. Now it is very clear that the government and Congress party is not able to digest independent and autonomous CAG and is going with the move to make CAG a multi-member body. Earlier, even in the matter of appointment of Chief Vigilance Commissioner, in spite of the dissent by the opposition leader, they have appointed somebody who was facing an inquiry, Mr. Thomas. Later it was struck down by the Supreme Court. They have bungled. They tried to weaken the election commission earlier, when they found the chief election commissioner was not priable to them, by adding some more members and appointing some member who was facing charges. So what I mean to say is, supersession of the judges, appointing their own favorites to election commission, appointing a person as chief vigilance commissioner who was facing an inquiry. These are the things which clearly show that nothing is new to them. They are habituated to do such things. Now this threat of active consideration of making C&AG as a multi-member body, this is a clear attempt to muzzle the present incumbent and thereby weaken the institution. They have the track record of destroying the institutions from time to time. As opined by a political commentator, the Congress has forgotten that its stock crashed after it resorted to similar CAG bashing in 1989, after the infamous Bofors. Now the same thing will be repeated as and when elections are held. Scam won't vanish by painting CAG black. This is what one political commentator wrote, and I agree with them. This will boomerang on the Congress party and expose its evil intentions. CAG is an independent body. They have decided to take the battle to streets by accusing him of political ambitions. When Mr. Digvijay Singh said, CAG commands respect because it's not a Sarkari organization. It's a constitutionally independent body. CAG is appointed under Article 148 of the Constitution, and his duties and powers were outlined in Article 149. He not only looks into the accounts of a union and states, but also mandated by the Constitution to advise the government on the form in which the accounts has to be maintained. Such is the importance of the institution that the expenditure of the CAG is met or charged on the consolidated fund of India directly, not by the regular budget of the government. It also prescribes oath by President of India on the lines of Supreme Court judges. So that's why I would like to warn the Congress party, if you go for such misadventure, like previous occasions, it's bound to boomerang on you. And you will face the consequences. Friends, as there is not enough time, I just dictated here after coming to office, they will give you that silent points I made in English for your convenience. This is the point I wanted to make today. If you have any questions on this, please. Question after questions.
Just one question. Senior Assistant Manager MG Vaidya has written in his blog that Narendra Modi could be spearheading the anti-country campaign that was started by what the party view.
Number one, I don't discuss intra-party matters in the media, having been the president of the party earlier. Second, that is totally wrong. I don't know from where he got this information. It is totally wrong.
So what is the party's stand on Mr. Ghazi as a person?
First, let us complete the questions on CAG and move of the government, then I'll come to that. If there are any questions. Mr. Narayana Swamy, my friend and Minister for Personnel, he has given this statement. Later, he denied it to some channels. But today, PTI has come out with a clear-cut clarification and gave the verbatim of what the minister said. It is very clear that the government intend to make CAG as a multi-member body in order to undermine the authority of the CAG, and also it's like a warning. It's like a warning.
As principal opposition, BJP is going to take a designated president.
We will discuss it. We will be meeting on the eve of Parliament before the session, because session is going to come from 22nd. It's a very serious issue. We will discuss it. It's a good suggestion that has come. We will discuss it. As I told you, they have the track record. I gave certain examples. Mr. Pranab Mukherjee has always praised the role of CAG. Not only Pranab Mukherjee, you have seen there was a good article written by Mr. Raj Sejian, a senior parliamentarian from Tamil Nadu in Hindu. There were articles written by Ramaswamy Iyer. There was an article written by Surya Prakash, noted journalist. What were the opinions of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar? How Jawaharlal Nehru used to respect CAG, and even the present president, Sri Pranab Mukherjee. said that we should respect the institution. This is there in the back of our mind. We feel that the government, as usual, Congress party, is trying to take on whoever is not liable to them. This is the method they adopt. You were saying something else?
Sir, also, what do you have to say about the Maharashtra BJP's idea of one man, one vote and one term? What is your...
I am in charge of Maharashtra BJP. No such idea was given by anybody to me. I am in charge of Maharashtra BJP.